Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be an analysis of some of the most popular futures markets out there for day traders. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, one quick clarification. I will be using the 1 hour time frame. So for those of you beginners, if you don't know what that means, that just means that each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 1 hour's worth of time. So we're going to start off with the NQ. Friendly reminder, even if you just trade the MNQ, because they mirror one another, what I talk about here could totally be applied to the MNQ here also. But overall, another good strong session here. Price just slowly grinded higher and higher. There was a little bit of a choppiness right here, but you could see the price just never wanted to push down through that key resistance level. So for those of you that have watched past videos, you know that we've been talking about 22,092 as a key area of resistance, but the price broke above it. In basic technical analysis, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support, and that is exactly what happened here this afternoon. Support, 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 before finally getting a nice late day movement as the price continued to grind higher and higher. So I'm going to get rid of that level. So moving into the next session, 22,092, if there are any sort of pullbacks, that is definitely going to be a very, very interesting level of support. Again, just given the track record right here of the amount of times that the price did bounce from it. From a moving average standpoint, you want to continue to watch that purple line there, which also has a pretty impressive track record of the price respecting it from several days ago. But all in all, those would be the two main levels. And then in terms of areas of resistance, it's basically in blue sky breakout territory. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame real quick. I might have lied. Did I lie? Has the price been up this high? Okay, I did lie. We are not in all-time highs. I apologize. Next key level of resistance is going to be the 392 mark, which is quite a bit of ways than where it is right now. So, I mean, it's not that the price is going to shoot straight up to that level, but moving forward, as you're seeing here, that's where that red line came from. There's definitely some room here where, like I said, not going to say it's going to shoot straight up that level. But as we just saw, not a whole lot of suggestions of potential areas of resistance. So for this thing to kind of find a little bit of a groove and keep on heading upwards, I could see that being a very real possibility going into the next couple of sessions. But all in all, nice breakout here. Nice respect of that former resistance area now as support. So we'll see if it can build upon that momentum moving forward up to that 392 mark. Next one here, taking a look at the ES, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the previous videos. But if you did, hopefully remember me talking about that 120 mark as an area of resistance. But with the price now above it, you'd want to see it act as support. And you can see right here, price came down here, bounced nicely off of it. So going into the next session, this is definitely going to be established as one of the newest areas of support right there at 6120. Also continue to watch that purple line there, 50-period moving average. And then the level that really stands out to me still, if there were a deeper pullback, is the pink line down there, that 200-period moving average. You can see right here, price respected it, and I just noticed we are still on the 4 hour time frame. So we are on the 4 hour time frame, which is okay because multiple time frame analysis never hurt anybody. So just from a bigger picture standpoint, realize that pink line there remains a key level. But now let's drop down to the 1 hour time frame, and we'll get back on track there. So that's what those levels that we were just looking at. So nothing really changed here other than the 1 hour time frame, showing that right now the price is pretty much stuck between these two areas, 6120 as support and then 6148 as resistance. So going into the next session, the main question is, okay, who's going to ultimately win this sideways channel battle that's occurring? If the price can come up here and get a break of the 6148 mark, then again, no guarantees that the price shoots straight up there, but I could very realistically see the price making a nice steady grind up to that 6163 mark, and then when the price gets up there, that's where it becomes almost anyone's guess at that point. But point here is that one step at a time, and the price has first got to be able to get up through that resistance line right there. And if there's a little miniature tread line right there, but if it can, and then pick up some more momentum, getting up through 6148, like I said, I like the prospects of it making a push up to the 6163 mark. But all in all, nice session here for the ES. Next one here, the YM for the Dow Jones, and this one, excuse me, looking a little bit sketchier as it's pulled back quite a bit. Kind of getting stuck up in this congestion point. I'm going to get rid of that level there, and that way we can just focus more so on kind of the moving averages here. But I would say the main dynamic here to watch moving forward is going to be more so a resistance trend line going into next week. And I'm very curious about that right there because that's a very nasty, that's a very steep trend line. So while nothing is for sure, If the price were to be able to come up here and break up through there, does that break generate some upside buying pressure? I think that's a very real possibility, a valid, worthwhile question to throw out there, just because of how steep that line is. And when things get beat down in a very steep way, there can tend to be some overreactions almost back in the upwards direction. And I don't want to say this is an overreaction, but in some ways it is, just like I said, given the steepness of that line and how the price has been respecting it. So certainly keep a close eye on that. If the price does push up through there, then you have a very real chance to potentially, I'm going to adjust this down, get up to these highs right here around the 44,875 mark. So keep a close eye on that. And then in terms of areas of support, yeah, there's this overarching level down here, but I think that's a little irrelevant right now. I would say more of a near-term area of support right there around the 44,490 mark. But yeah, brutal trend line here. Can the price get back up through there? And if so, does it spark some upside buying pressure? In my opinion, at least, that's a very interesting dynamic headed into the next session. We're now moving out of the indices and into the oil market, specifically crude, CL, and yeah, basically right back to where it all started. What do I mean by that? Well, if you watch the past videos, talked about this line right here being important at 70.65, because if the price were to break down below there and go further and do something like that, at that point, the price would essentially be going right back to where it was. And to be fair, I mean, it is actually holding. It's going sideways. It's doing its best to maintain 70.65, but it is right on the cusp of potentially going, like I said, right back to where it was. But once more, to be fair and objective, technically speaking, the price is still at 70.65, but I don't know. I mean, you feel free to leave your opinions in the comment section, but I'm not feeling too good that the price is actually going to stop going here. I think this is just a temporary pause before it continues on down, but I guess that's why we got to wait and see what happens. And if I'm wrong and if the price does ultimately decide to bounce off this 70.65 mark, two key areas of resistance to watch going to be that 50-period moving average and then the 200-period moving average. But like I said, it just seems like the downwards pressure is back, and if this downwards pressure is indeed back, then it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a deal for it to push down and potentially, even head down to lows right here around the 70.25 mark. But so far, so good. To be fair, like I said, 70.65 is holding up, but we'll see if that can continue into the next couple of sessions. Moving now into the precious metals and gold, GC, and okay, maybe this one is actually human. This was really starting to feel like it can never go down. It will always go up, and that is usually when, as far as psychology works, things are about to go down, because I don't think anybody thought that gold would be going down. And then this session right here, well, speaks for itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all those lines as they serve their purpose for now, and we'll start afresh. So the newest key area of resistance on any sort of bounce, just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And going into today, that 200-period moving average was considered a key area of support. But with the price now breaking down below it, any sort of bounce, you would expect that to act as a resistance. Value of that right now at 29, we'll call it 10. So 29.10 going to be that initial area of resistance with any sort of upwards movement. And then if the price can actually push up through there, next key area of resistance, keep an eye on right around the 29.18 mark. What about levels of support? Well, let's just go to the 4-hour time frame, make this easier to see. So in terms of levels of support, change that to green. Next key dynamic here that I'm very curious about, down around the 28.75 mark. If the price does drift down to 28.75, which I think is a very real possibility at this point with the amount of downwards pressure that has shown up, next key level of support after that one, just in case things continue to get pretty wild, down there right around 28.60. So 28.75, 28.60, next key areas. If the price were to come down there and then even break through those, that's where the conversation really begins to shift. But within the grand scheme of things, you got to still, this is still very much so in an upwards direction, but it's been a while since the price has been down below that purple line. So we'll see if that is indeed a leading indicator of more downside pressure to come. Before I go, I do want to invite you to give Take Profit Trader a try. That is who I use as my prop firm and who I would recommend giving a try if you are looking to either get into prop firm trading with futures or maybe just try somebody else, maybe switch it up a little bit. I've been very pleased with them. They do pay. I've been paid. Other members of my community have been paid. They have a good track record, and they're open to people pretty much around the world. Now, if you see your name or if you see your country's name on that list, unfortunately for you, you would not be able to use them. But they are open to most countries. So like I said, if you are looking for another prop firm or just want to get into it, I would definitely recommend giving them a try. Make sure you use that link because that'll ensure you get the best deal possible, which right now is a 50% discount off of all their accounts. So definitely give them a try and check it out. So thanks for watching. As always, if you appreciate these analysis videos, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to support the channel in a super free and easy way, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help out. So thanks for watching, and make sure to give the Take Profit Trader a try.